This chapter is on graphing linear equations. Today we're going to start out with a review of graphing points, just so that everybody is on the same page. So this is a coordinate plane. It has two axes and four quadrants. It has an x-axis that goes across horizontally and a y-axis that goes down vertically. It has four quadrants, which are labeled with Roman numerals. The upper right-hand quadrant is labeled 1, the upper left quadrant is labeled 2, the lower left quadrant is labeled 3, and the lower right quadrant is labeled 4. The center of the coordinate plane is called the origin. It is right here, and it has coordinates 0, 0. Recall that on the x-axis, numbers to the right are positive, and numbers to the left are negative. On the y-axis, numbers going up are positive, and numbers going down are negative. Points can be graphed on this using the coordinates x, y. X always comes first, y always comes second. If you forget the order, just remember it's alphabetical order, like x, y, z. X always comes first, y always comes second. So we're just going to graph some points on this coordinate plane. Now, this point right here is right on the x-axis. It has coordinates 4, 0, because I go over 4 in the x direction, and then I stay right there for the y coordinate. This point right here on the y-axis is right at 0, 2. So 0 on the x-axis, which is in the middle, and then I go up 2 on the y-axis. This point on the x-axis is at negative 3, 0. Because I go negative 3 in this direction, in the x direction first, and then I go up 0. Remember that all points go in the order x, y. On the lower y-axis, I'll do this point, which would be 0, negative 6. Because I go 0 in the x direction and then straight down 6. Now, this is called the first quadrant, and what makes the first quadrant special is that the x and the y of all the points are both positive. So if I wanted to graph this point right here, I would go 3 in the x direction, and then 4 in the y direction. All points in this quadrant will have two positive numbers. If I move to quadrant 2, let's do this one, I would go left 2, or negative 2, that would be my x, and then up 4 is my y. In this quadrant, all of the x's are negative, and all the y's are positive. In quadrant 3, let's do this point. I go left 5, so that's negative 5, and down 2. All the points in the third quadrant have both x and y as negative. And then down here in quadrant 4, let's do this one. I'd go 2 to the right, and that's my x, and then 3 down, that's negative 3, that's my y. All the points in this quadrant have an x that's positive and a y that's negative. So this is just a simple review of graphing points. For your assignment, you will have to graph some points on Moodle, and you'll have to name some points. And this is just a review getting us ready to graph linear equations.